Nowadays, you cannot do without a car. It gives mobility, comfort, and status. Of course, sometimes you have to work on it, but it's nothing. Loosen here, tighten there, pour in here, and drain from there. These are all trifles. Even the fact that during each car cleaning, the remains of oils and petrol go into the environment cannot spoil the joy of owning the iron steed. However, not everyone is happy. Dozens of animals and plants around the world suffer from poisoning from oil products every day. Petrol, diesel, fuel oil. These and related materials were created by oil refining. They are used as fuel and lubricant in transport and heavy industry, in everyday life, construction, pharmaceutical production, as well as in making cosmetics and packaging materials. Oil is called black gold, or the blood of the earth. Every year, mankind consumes over 4 billion tons of the substance. But how did such an amount of oil get to the bowels of the earth? There are several theories about the origin of the substance, but the most reliable suggests that oil was formed from the remains of living organisms. More than 7,000 years ago, residents of Central Asia used oil products to protect their houses from getting wet. The annals of ancient Babylon preserve records of extracting oil from an enormous well and burning it in a huge ritual furnace. The ancient Greeks used oil products as fuel for lighthouses, and Byzantine residents designed prototypes of the first flamethrowers. In the Middle Ages, oil resins were used in decorative painting, and there were attempts to extract from raw oil other, purer substances. Kerosene, which was used for heating and lighting of premises, was then in the greatest demand. The modern industry uses oil to produce propane, butane, acetone, petrol, kerosene, diesel fuel, petrol oils, fuel oil, bitumen, tar, and other products. Petrol and its closest relatives, diesel and aviation fuel, set in motion cars, air, rail, and water transport. The transport industry consumes up to 1 billion tons of the fuel annually. The heaviest derivatives of oil, fuel oil, bitumen, and tar, are used as construction materials and lubricants. But the most widely used products are those of secondary oil processing. They are made into rubber and fabrics, plastics, polymer, films, and many others. But that's not all. The components of oil are used to produce medicines, cosmetics, perfumes, and even food. How did it happen that just one substance provides such a wide variety of products? It's all about the chemical properties of crude oil. It is a thick liquid where a large number of different solids are mixed. While processing, the liquid base is evaporated from the solid mass gradually. The entire range of petroleum products are substances separated from crude oil, and they all seem indispensable. Scientists have calculated that if the production of petrol and diesel fuel suddenly stopped entirely, a global collapse would begin within 3 days. All transport would stop, and there would be a blackout. Big cities would suffer from devastation and hunger. Modern civilization depends on oil products, like a living organism does on the circulatory system. But their excessive consumption causes enormous damage to the environment. The harmful components of exhaust fumes annually increase the number of stroke victims by 70,000 people. Because of accidents and unscrupulous disposal, every year up to 20 million barrels of liquid petroleum enter the world's oceans. Everything is interconnected in nature, and therefore, after destroying fish and underwater vegetation, these substances reach man really quickly. Skin contacts with oil products cause dermatitis and other serious illnesses. The large accumulation of oily substances and plastic waste also leads to animal deaths and people poisoning. Of course, you can blame the companies that manufacture and transport oil products. But in fact, each of us is responsible. After all, almost all products of oil origin can be disposed of. There are separate garbage containers for plastic and polymer film. Remains of combustible and lubricating materials must also be handed over for disposal. In order to wash your car, there are special car washes. But it mustn't be done on the banks of the rivers or lakes. You should make sure that the amount of harmful components your vehicle emits does not exceed the ecological norm. Just a couple of decades ago, refusal from the transport consuming petrol and diesel fuel seemed a fantastic idea. But today, we can easily reduce, if not entirely eliminate, the harmful effects of oil on our world. And you can start small to look after yourself and your car, so that our friends will not have to pay for our fault.